Hello, beautiful Virgo. Thank you for being here. My name is Jaden, and this is Lighthouse 36. Today I'm doing a general reading for the Virgo Collective for the month of July 2026. All right, let's get started and see what messages Spirit has for you. Just so you know, I'm doing a bit of a different reading this month. I'm going to start off with the overall theme. Please, Spirit, give us the overall theme for the month of July 2026 for the Virgo Collective, please. Please give us the overall theme, one card representing the overall theme. Thank you. Okay, so it looks like, Virgo, there's movement, choices, and decisions to be made in the month of July for you. Okay, beautiful. And we'll see what that's about in just a few minutes. Okay. Please, Spirit, give us recent past for Virgo. Recent past. Hope. Hope. This is the star card in this deck. The star card. Hope. So there's something you've been dreaming about. Okay, wishing for. You've been maintaining your hope. I'm hearing against all odds. Okay. Please give us the energy for present, crown chakra, and moving on. This is Six of Cups energy. Moving on. Okay, and near future. Near future for Virgo, please. Near future. Oh, wow. You've got the waiting game. And you've got one of the happiest cards in the deck, the Foundation and Achievements card. This I call my Happily Ever After card. I've been working with this deck for many, many years, a couple of decades now or more. And this is my Happily Ever After card. That's what I call it. Okay, this is amazing, amazing. Okay, let's get some clarifiers. Spirit, can you please clarify the overall theme, movement, choices, and decisions? Please clarify the overall theme. So we've got the Six of Cups, the Six of Cups. Okay, and I feel like this one wants to come out. The Queen of Swords, the Queen of Swords. Okay, I think I can put these underneath actually. All right. Let's get hope. Please clarify recent past. Hope. Two of Wands. Oh, yes, that very much a hope card. Usually hold out until all the cards are on the table, but I'm getting a very strong message, Virgo, of there's something that you've long been wishing for, and it's coming in, and now you have to make some decisions and choices. It's like you're caught off guard, okay? And there's decisions, choices to be made here, somehow related to this wish. Okay, moving on. We'll get more about that in a few minutes. Moving on. And crown chakra, please. Crown chakra. Yeah, the crown chakra, things come in from the crown chakra, from spirit. Messages, things you're trying to manifest, they come through the crown chakra through to your entire body and all your chakras. We've got the Queen of Wands. Yeah, this is an interesting Queen of Wands, okay? And for near future, foundations and achievements and the waiting game. Knight of Swords. And one more, please. And the King of Swords. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, I'm just going to take a few deep breaths, Virgo. You're more than welcome to join me, please, with grounding ourselves, connecting with the cards and the messages with spirit, from spirit, and your energy. Okay, Virgo. So, I'm getting kind of two timelines here. The first one has to do with, well, they both have to do with something you've been wishing for, okay, for a very long time now. So you may have wished upon a star for this. You've been holding out hope, maybe praying really hard on it and just trusting and believing that it's going to happen for you, that your prayers are going to be answered. Manifesting this, if maybe, the law of attraction. There's something here that you've been wanting for a long time and holding out hope for. Okay? Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is like, you know, it's usually like the picture of a person with a wand behind them, and then there's a wand, like they're looking out into the distance with the future. So there's what you have and what you want for the future. And here she's got a wand in her, two wands in her hands, or sorry, one is a dagger, and a wand, and there's the crystal ball. So there's something that you've been wanting. Crystal ball represents the future, okay? Something you've been wanting for the future, okay, for a long time now. And so where the two timelines I see coming in, for some of you, it's actually coming in now in the month of July. Actually, for both of you, it's coming in July, but it's just for one set of you, a group of you, there's an extra step, okay? Whatever this is, it's coming in July, okay? But for some of you, it's coming directly to you, and for some of you, there's an extra step before it comes to you. There's an extra step. And either way, there's movement, choices, and decisions to make, okay? So if it's coming to you directly, there's a choice, there's a decision that you need to make. Perhaps I'm hearing it's not coming exactly as you wanted, and you're going to have to make some kind of decision. So let me give you an example of that. There's the Six of Cups here on the table, which is nostalgia. Maybe you've been looking for a home. This is just an example. Right in the neighborhood where you grew up in. It's like you have a dream of having children and wanting your children to grow up just like you did in the neighborhood where you grew up, okay? But maybe there's nothing that comes available in that neighborhood, or it's not exactly as you wanted it, or maybe it's over your budget. And maybe you're going to have to settle for a smaller home in that neighborhood, or maybe you're going to have to settle for another neighborhood altogether. Okay? You've got to make, so the home comes in for you and your family, but you have to decide, there's decisions here. Well, this is what I wanted, but it's not exactly like I wanted, but, it is a beautiful home and a beautiful neighborhood with great schools. Maybe I should give this other neighborhood a try. Or maybe we can, look at renovating this smaller home in the neighborhood that I want to live in later on. There's something there about it not being perfect. and or exactly as you wished and hoped for. So with the Queen of Swords here, you're not just making this decision with your heart, you're making it with your head. You're making it intellectually, okay? Um, and there's a lot of children here. I see a lot of children here. So it may be that your inner child like wants, exactly what you had, like your inner child. But sometimes, we have to parent our inner child too, and we have to use our head. Like if a child wants to eat a bunch of chocolate before dinner, that's not a good idea. And you have to parent that child and say, no, you can have a chocolate after dinner. I don't want you to spoil your appetite. You have to eat the healthy food first, kind of thing. So there's something here. Maybe you're going to have to parent your inner child, and you know, uh, that inner child inside of you, and think intellectually, like with your mind. It's not that the Queen of Swords is cold in any way. She's not cold, okay? It's just that she makes rational decisions, okay? She uses her head. There's a nice balance between heart and head with the Queen of Swords, okay? Um, she's very practical. So that's for the one timeline I'm seeing there. For the other timeline, there's an extra step of some sort I'm feeling before you get to the final thing that you've wished for. So, Spirit, can you please give me an example? Please give me an example. Okay, so the example I'm getting is perhaps you've been at one job for a certain amount of time, okay? But you're not being promoted, you're not getting, very many raises, or, it's just not going the way that you wanted it to, okay? And uh, so you may have to decide, am I going to stay here? um, you know, this dead end job? Or am I going to take a chance and go for something that, I really want? Something that where there is room for promotion, or maybe it is the promotion, a job where elsewhere where it's the job that you want. You want it at this organization, but they're not giving it to you, so you're going to go somewhere else. Okay? Um, there's an extra step here, an extra step having to do with healing here, um, that you have to take. Okay, so there's kind of like a little bit of a waiting period here. Um, an additional waiting from, let's say, group one was the childhood example I gave, and now the people I'm speaking to, group two, okay, with the extra step. Either way, there's waiting here, but there's a little bit of extra waiting because there's an extra step here for you that you have to take. It could also be, for example, maybe you're in a relationship where you're giving more than the partner is giving, being taken advantage of in some way, and you have to decide, am I going to stay in this relationship or am I going to move on? Okay, there's an extra step here for group number two, okay, the second timeline. There's an extra step here before your wish comes true. So let's put it all together. So, for example, maybe you're married to someone or have a partner who, isn't pulling their weight. They're not working. You're the one supporting them all the time. They're always quitting their job, or there's an employer who's not giving you your raise, or giving you the promotion that you want or that they promised you. Okay, so you have and your other goal is to, your major wish, okay, is to own your own home. Okay, you want to own your own home. That's a second wish that you have, okay, for your life. So you may have to decide, okay, I'm going to get a smaller home because I'm going to stay in this job because it's comfortable, because it's safe. You know, there's security here. Times are tough. But that means that I have to get a smaller home. Okay, so there's an extra step there. But if you do go to another job and you take that chance, okay, there's a chance that you're going to be making a lot more money and you know, will be actually able to get that home that you truly want. You're not going to have to settle. You see, there's a connection here between settling for that job that's, you know, where that dead-end job that's not exactly what you want, they're kind of taking you for granted, etc. Okay, not treating you the way you should be treated. They're not giving you back as much as you're giving. Okay, you're settling for that. But if you don't settle, okay, so if you do settle, you end up with settling for a house as well. See the pattern there? You settle for something less than you deserve. But if you don't settle and you say, no, this may take a little bit more time, okay, but I'm going to look for a job that pays me the money that I want and, you know, the position that I want. And, you know, or at the very least, there's room there for promotion. Okay, you don't settle for this other. You don't settle. You don't stay in that job. You go for something that you really want. Then you get the home later on that you really want. I hope I'm explaining that well. I'm sorry if I'm not. So there's an element here of settling and going for what you really want. So if you settle, okay, if you settle, then that means this other wish that you really want, you may be settling there as well. Okay, but if you go for what you really want, that means whatever this wish is, then you're going to get what you really want. Okay, I've tried to explain that as best as I could. Hopefully it's come through properly. So that's the extra step there. There's a decision that you make, a move that you make before it comes in for group 2. Okay. So I do see something coming in, okay? Something coming in that you're very passionate about and you moving on. So this, you know, whether this is a collective reading or a personal reading, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You know best. You have to listen to your own intuition. I can only read the cards here. I'm just a messenger reading the cards with Spirit speaking through me. You can decide. You decide what you want to do. What's best for you. Oh, goodness. Spirit's reminding me that I didn't finish the second example here for group 2. So, and if you have a partner who's not pulling their weight, who keeps quitting their job, okay, you can choose to stay with them, okay, and settle for that for less than you deserve, okay, and then you're going to have to settle for, maybe you're going to have to continue renting for the rest of your life, or maybe you have to get a smaller home because you don't have a partner who's pulling their weight because you're also supporting them, okay? So there's a settling there. But if you decide to move on, okay, maybe you're going to meet a partner who's just as hardworking as you, and then you can get your true dream home. Okay, or maybe you'll be able to afford it on your own because you're not supporting this other person anymore. Something like that, a decision like that. Okay, so what I see here, okay, and I'm not telling you what to do in any way. You know what's best for you, but I think the majority of you are going to be moving on. See here, it says literally moving on, and also you're going from the dark into the light, and you're taking these shackles off, okay? These shackles are going to be dropped on the ground and given to Mother Earth, okay? To transmute the energy. So you're moving into the light. I feel that you're moving on, okay? Whatever this is, whether you're in group 1 or group 2, you are moving on, okay? And leaving whatever this darkness, this heaviness is behind you. And what's coming in, it's coming in, whatever the swish is through their crown chakra, it's coming in. You know, Sometimes maybe you could do a little ritual where you open up your crown chakra to let this come in and welcome it. Let spirit know that you're welcoming it. Um, okay, maybe do some crown chakra work, either by praying or a meditation. You can search it on YouTube, like something like guided meditation for crown chakra, or Reiki healing for crown chakra. Um, you know, if you have any issues with receiving, maybe you want to speak to a psychologist about it, or just pray on it, or just let spirit know to open you up, to open up your crown chakra to receive whatever this is, this wish coming true. Okay. Um, and so this is the Queen of Wands. So this new beginning, whatever you're moving on to, it's something you're very passionate about. But what's very interesting about this particular Queen of Wands is that you see here, she's holding a child back from touching the fire. Okay. So here's that message again about using your intellect. Okay. And, uh, you know, uh, something about parenting your inner child again. There's that message again. So spirit, yeah, what I'm hearing is, for instance, the example I used of a partner that's not pulling their weight, okay? Not giving as much as you are giving, etc. You know, maybe this person, you know, it doesn't mean that they're not a good person. It just means they have to, you know, balance out certain aspects of themselves that they need some healing. And maybe you're willing to wait for that, okay? Um, but you know, this person may make your inner child feel very loved. Um, yeah, I'm getting something here with the Six of Cups in this, that maybe you had a parent that was this way, a parent that wasn't very responsible. So, but they were great with you know, and you loved them so much, you know, and that's your attraction. This is a repeated pattern to this particular person, even though they're not very responsible, but they make you feel loved, okay? But there's a need here to parent yourself, you know, to not let yourself get hurt here, even though it's something you're passionate about. Um, and maybe with your job, you know, like um, maybe you're a people pleaser, you know, or playing it small, you know, because you learned that as a child, you learned that you needed to play small, okay? And you have to parent your inner child to let them know that it's safe now not to play small. Maybe they, you know, that whole thing I'm hearing, children being seen and not heard. It's okay. You can be heard now. It's safe. So it may not be completely pleasant experience, you know, you may get some, well, you definitely will, if you've been people pleasing and playing it small for a long time, the people won't like it around you who are used to you being one certain way, they won't like it. You know, whether it's that partner or an employer or your colleagues, they won't like it. But it's okay. You can make it through this. You can, you know, walk through that fire. Um, you're going to be safe. You're old enough now to stand up for yourself and uh, get through this. Like, take some criticism because you know yourself now. You know, when you were a child, you weren't mature enough to handle that emotionally. You know, you didn't have the emotional capacity to handle that, but now you do as an adult. Okay, so I do see you moving on, the majority of you. And it's been a waiting game. It's been a waiting, and there's maybe perhaps a little bit of a wait. This may not be till the end of July, but I do see, or a little bit further into the future, I'm hearing. Um, uh, but this is near future, so it's not too far away, okay? And whatever you've been doing here, okay, this decision making process, there's a maturity here, and there's spiritual maturity here. You know, I think you're about the third collective that I've read for so far for the month of July. And there seems to be a theme here in July so far about spiritual maturity. Um, uh, yeah, there's this like a spiritual maturity here, okay? And whatever decisions you're making, you're building a strong foundation for the future, and there's potential for long term. This is very happy, okay? Um, Happy family life, happy home, um, rainbow shining over you, like your pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. This has a good conclusion, okay? But I see first that here you're taking the time with the Knight of Swords to plan, okay, for before you move. There's movement, you're planning these choices, these decisions, you're planning beforehand, okay, weighing all the pros and cons. There's not just thinking with your heart here, okay, there's definitely Knight of Swords again, thinking with your mind. And look at this, King of Swords. So Queen of Swords, Knight of Swords, King of Swords, okay? There's a lot of intellectual, rational kind of energy here, okay? So yes, think with your heart, of course, but also think with your head, okay, about what's best for you. Okay, you've got to put your oxygen mask on first before you can help anyone else. What's best for you and your future and your inner child, and it could be even children that you do have, okay? What is best for you and your children if you have any? Okay, then what's going to bring in this happily ever after? And then once you've given it some thought, then it's time to make the move, to make the choices and make the decisions and the choices, okay? There was something that was coming up here and then I lost it. What was that, Spirit? Yeah, balance. Yeah, a balance between heart and your mind here, okay? There's a balance, and also between your child self and your adult self. Oh, yes, thank you, Spirit. So, Spirit wants me to tell you that, it may be a good idea before you make this decision to do a little bit of healing, maybe meditation, some energetic healing, maybe some guided meditations, work on your crown chakra, bring yourself into balance, doing something that you love, for instance, like adult coloring or, taking a walk in nature. Um, going to the gym, working out, your favorite dance class kind of thing, dance fitness, whatever you find brings you into balance, okay? Do something, forget about whatever this is, bring yourself into balance and then return to it, okay, is what Spirit's saying. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, let's get an oracle. Spirit, any confirmations, clarifications, or additional messages for the Virgo Collective, please? I know you're going to make the best decision for you, and if you have children, Virgo. Druantia, the beings of the new earth, those who hold the sacred light codes of this new era in your life are entering your energy field. Receive. Oh my goodness. See the crown chakra. Receive. Be open to receiving, not just what you're wishing for, but clarity on what you're wishing for and healing so that you make the best balanced decision for you and for yourself, and if you have any children. This is a new era for you. This is a new beginning for you, okay? New light codes. Wow. Yes, so what Spirit was saying about pausing first before you make the final decision, okay, before moving on in whatever way, um, uh, you know, open yourself up to some healing and receiving clarity. Pray to your spiritual team, to God, to source, to spirit. Pray, please give me clarity on what I should do. Please let it become clear. And I should tell you that, it may not become clear to you in that moment, okay? You may still feel confused in that moment while you're praying, and then later it comes to you, like you pray before you go to sleep. You go to sleep, then you wake up, you have all kinds of weird dreams, and suddenly, the dreams had nothing to do with, or seem like they had nothing to do with what you were praying for clarity about, but suddenly you wake up and it's like it comes to you. You're suddenly clear on what you have to do. Or maybe you receive messages through songs or overhearing people's conversations, or, headlines of some sort, okay? In a book. Like, just suddenly it comes to you. Pray that you're open to receiving the messages for your highest good, and that you perceive them clearly. Wow, that's beautiful. Okay, and one message from the angels, one last message from the angels, clarification, confirmation, or additional message, please, Spirit. Thank you. Thank you, angels. You're never alone. Wow, that's so beautiful. Oh, I'm just taking it in. You're not alone in making this decision, okay? Spirit really wants you to know that. The light beings are with you. You're not alone. Your guardian angel, your spiritual team, they're with you. Pray to them for clarity, okay? You're not alone in this. You may feel like you're alone, but you're not, okay? Spirit is here for you. Just beautiful, Virgo. Virgo, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please be sure to give this channel some love. I'd really appreciate it because it helps the channel grow. And I'm wishing you all the very best on your journey. And I'm sending you so much love. And I'll see you next time. Bye.